Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Good. Special hi to the Laker FFA, wherever you're sitting. Yeah, I figured to sit right there. Quick show of hands. How many of you did not grow up on a farm? It's interesting, isn't it? Look around. And yet, look at our agricultural industry today. Look at the fact that you're involved in FFA and that you're sitting here at the state convention. The next state officer didn't grow up on a farm either. And yet, look where he is today. There's two things that have been a huge influence on this young man. He's referred to them. It's kind of funny, we're very similar. He wrote his speech, I wrote my speech. We didn't know what each other was saying. But these two things include the natural world and Jurassic Park. He really loves all critters and their environments. And as a toddler, he would often run around for the whole day with an earthworm in his hand, his little buddy. As he got a little older and was running around outside, because he was always outside, he would bring home snakes, frogs, toads, turtles, bumblebees. Who holds a bumblebee? He spent a lot of his time outside. He even had some exotic pets that he kept inside. Hedgehogs. He had a veiled chameleon, a tarantula. Even now, he spends a lot of time outside when he can, hunting and fishing. He's had a huge influence from these two sitting right down here. When he was 4, he watched Jurassic Park, and wow, he was so fascinated by the concept that you could take DNA and bring back to life extinct reptiles. And that's kind of what started a lot of things as to where he is today. In 8th grade, he was introduced to FFA and agriculture, and this interest in the natural world and DNA merged right in. The natural world, of course, now included soil evaluation and animal husbandry, and the DNA now included GMOs. He did quite a few public speaking contest speeches with that topic. His FFA career has included being part of the winning state environmental skills team his 8th grade and senior years. In fact, he competed at nationals this fall. He has been part of the band, the state band. He's also been accepted a couple of times into the national FFA band, so music is a big part of his life. He's shown chickens and sheep and raised a feeder calf, which for those of you that don't have a farming background, you know that it's not necessarily the first thing you're comfortable with, but he did a great job. And a couple of years ago, he was one of the 2 finalists for the public speaking contest right up here on this stage behind me. He's been a chapter, regional, and now a state officer, and he's currently a student at MSU, where he's finally merging all of these passions: the natural world, genetics, FFA, agriculture. They're all coming together, and his goal is a PhD in genetics, plant genetics specifically. And often we joke around when he's dragging a little bit in life and needs some motivation. You will feed the world. Please join me in congratulating all of the state officers this year for a job well done, but most especially the next young man who I'm very proud to call my son, Andrew Davis.
Almost all my life they told me that I couldn't. Dreaming every night they told me that I shouldn't. Told me that I should've quit, that I'll never finish it, that I'll never reach the top and no one knows that I exist, but I kept climbing.
Each of us is totally unique, but we all share so much. We all live in this world. We all think, act, feel, love, and we all have dreams. What sets us apart is how we do each of those things and what we dream of. Who do you want to be? What are the dreams you've always dreamed but have yet to achieve? Who or what is holding you back? Is it your family? Your friends? Could it be life and the hand you've been dealt? Or is it you? All too often, we never take that first step in accomplishing our dreams because we let something stop us. Since day one, I've been a total original. Fitting in has never really been my style. I'd much rather stand out. Being an oddball means that I haven't always had someone who understood me or my passions enough to support them in the way that I needed. Being an oddball took on a whole new meaning when I moved to the tip of the thumb when I was starting 7th grade. I became a full-fledged FFA member and the first in my family's history, the following year as an 8th grader. However, my standout tendencies didn't end here. I started my public speaking career that year, which meant that I was practicing by myself in those months leading up to leadership contests. In my grade school days, it could be hard for me to express myself freely without fear of being made fun of. When I started public speaking, my classmates would ask me, "Don't you get nervous? Or standing in front of all of those people doesn't scare you? And aren't you afraid you'll mess up?" Sometimes, what it really seemed like they were asking me was, "You aren't afraid to be yourself?" After my first couple rounds of leadership contests in my first year, the answer to those questions became no. Because of the confidence I gained through competing, I began taking more risks. Almost everyone on my dad's side of the family grew up playing football. And when I joined the varsity soccer team my freshman year, there wasn't much advice my dad could give, and he barely understood my soon-to-be newfound passion. Sometimes it seemed like he wished he could just bond with his son over the pigskin. Ball is life, Dad! Although it wasn't always at first. I haven't been performing bicycle kicks like that from day one. In fact, I struggled in the beginning. I loved the game, but practices were tough, and I drew a lot of flack from the upperclassmen when I became a starting player after just one game in my freshman season. After 2 years as a starting midfielder, one day I took the place of an injured defender on my team during a game. Before long, it took a lot of pushing and shoving to get me to fill in for a midfielder or a forward during a game. Soccer became a new outlet where I could express myself and adapt the game to my personal style. Shooting from half field, performing my famous slide tackles, directing my teammates, the defense, and better, leading the team. Eventually, as team captain my senior year. I took a chance when I joined the varsity soccer team. I played in roughly 73 games, or 5,840 minutes. Think of everything I would have missed out on if I hadn't joined the team. Think of the friendships I wouldn't have, the skills I would have never learned. All of this was possible because of the self-confidence that FFA instilled in me. It never seemed like an opportunity, that fateful day when I took the place of an injured defender. But if I'd never had to, I can safely say my soccer career and my life might be that much different if I'd never taken that leap. As humans, we are naturally afraid of the unknown. Courage is what allows us to act in the face of fear and is what can power our efforts to accomplish our goals. Many of us have experienced a time when someone's words or beliefs contradicted our dreams, or we told ourselves, "You're not good enough, you'll never succeed, and you can't do it." Sometimes we focus on the fear of what is new to us instead of embracing a brand new opportunity or experience. We'll never know what we can accomplish until we take that first step on the journey of 1,000 steps. Taking that first step can be the hardest part for some. But just like when climbing a hill, once you reach the top, the hardest part is over. From there, it's much easier to move forward. Take that first step. Try a new sport at school, or go to just one meeting of a club that sounds interesting. Try that intriguing FFA contest you've never heard of before, or raise an animal you've always wanted to raise, despite the fact that your family has always raised beef. Pick up that new instrument or get into that hobby. Don't let life, other people, or yourself get in the way of your dreams. Life is what we make it. Our stories are not written in stone. We are the cartographers who must inscribe our destiny in the stars. Many events and people may shape and guide our journey, but ultimately, the choice of direction is ours. Make each choice with intention, and remember that each decision has purpose and reason. We must follow our hearts and never settle for anything less than who we truly are. If we enjoy each moment to its fullest, then we will never live with regret. It is our duty to ourselves to seize each possibility and discover where our passion truly lies. Michigan FFA, take the leap!
Davis, we share a lot of things. Our first name, our home chapter, our love for Pokemon, but the most important thing we share is our love for service. Thank you for never being afraid to be your true self. Whether it's the memes you share, your random wildlife facts, or your intricate storytelling abilities, there's no one quite like you, and we love you for it. It has been so amazing watching you impact thousands of FFA members with your passions and quirkiness. When you're out there changing the world and receiving Nobel Prizes for your work on GMOs, don't forget about us. Thank you for your year of service, and thank you for being one of my best friends the past 7 years. Michigan FFA, our Region 3 State Vice President, Andrew Davis.